Alright, so for today, we're going to focus on the first part of our session today. The first part I'll be covering in terms of intro to course, where I introduce LCC112 course to all of you. And as for the second part, will be in terms of the skills that we will learn today. We'll be covering the 4 skills, which is listening, reading, writing, and also another one, reading. Okay, so let's start with the course description first. So as you know, LCC112 is English for Communicative Competence 2. So you've done your LCC111. Now you move on to LCC112. Okay, so 112, we want you to be able to improve your proficiency from CEFR B1 high to low level B2. Okay, so we want you to be able to have more competency in terms of social and academic contexts, and we will covering the 4 skill: listening, reading, speaking, and writing for this course. Okay, so it's not much different from LC111. It will cover all the 4 skills, the same skills, but the assessment is a little bit different. Okay, so we'll be covering listening. You will be able to recognize what is the main idea, what is the supporting detail, the discourse markers. We've learned this before during LC111. Identify the tone, the purpose, whether it is a fact or it is opinion, and other things. Okay, so in terms of reading, you recognize the meaning of the words and phrases using contextual clues. What is the reference word? What is the transition in passage? Okay, you will learn all those things, make inference and draw conclusion. And another new things that you will learn in terms of reading, which is interpreting linear text and non-linear text. Okay, and for speaking, you will move on to another level of speaking, which is using role play. Okay, so you'll be doing OSSD, online semi-scripted dialogue, as your assessment for speaking. And the last one is writing. So you will write short paragraphs, expository essay. Okay, it's no longer narrative essay. It will be expository essay, where you will have to write 200 words. Okay, so especially for you guys, HS student, okay, nursing, you'll be having to do the assessment different from the other courses, since you only have 10 weeks. So this week is week 1. We start our lecture, and during week 5, okay, you will do your listening assessment, 30%. Week 7 and week 8 is your OSSD. Okay, and then you go for mid-sem break, and before the semester end, week 10 is where you will have your reading and writing assessment, 40%. Alright, so don't worry, I'll be giving this to you. Alright, so let's move on to assessment. So we have 3 assessment. Okay, 1 listening. Okay, listening assessment, we will have only 1 listening assessment. Okay, 30%. Okay, so that one will be for you guys, it will be week 5. So it is 30 marks. Duration, it says here 1 hour, but the audio will be around 40 minutes macam tu. Okay, and the weightage is 30%. So the audio will be revolves around short news, informative speech, commercial announcements, and talk show or dialogue. Okay, it will revolve around 4 different audio. So this is the sample. This is actually the what we call the script of the audio. The script, you will not be getting the script. This is for your lecture. Okay, so you'll get multiple choice question as well. Okay, so you listen to the audio, try to answer accordingly. Alright, As simple as that, only one listening assessment. Previously for LCC111, you have two different assessment, right? You have two listening, but this one you have only one listening. Okay, for next one, OSSD, for nursing student, you will do it on week 7 and 8. Okay, this one you have to do it in pair, 30 minutes per pair, 13 minutes. Okay, the weightage is also 30%. So what you have to do is, for OSSD, okay, it will be online. We will set up, okay, you will sit, it can be different based on what your lecturer wants. For me, since it is online, I would appreciate if you are sitting, not sitting together, okay, because we want you to be able to have confidence as well as be able to navigate yourself when you're doing online. Okay, so jangan duduk sekali. Okay, it is online. I will send the Google Meet link. You will join according to the turn. Okay, it is synchronous, it's not recorded. You will get the question during the time. You tak akan dapat soalan sebelum the test. Okay, it will be in pairs. Okay, but let's say if we have an odd number, sorry, it's not even this odd number of student, one of you have to help out. Okay, okay, so you have to form a pair. One student needs to do the assessment twice if there's an odd number. Okay, so I will create the schedule or slot for you, and we'll create Google Meet link for you guys as well. And during this OSSD, you have to turn on your camera and record. Okay, sorry, you have to turn on your camera and I will record the presentation or the test for future reference. Let's say lah, okay, if you macam tak puas hati, Miss, kenapa I punya markah macam ni? So at least when we have the video, I can actually defend myself when I say that, oh, when you look at your presentation, when you look at the way you answer the question, this is the only marks that I can give you, for example lah. Okay, but don't worry, do your best. Okay, so this is the sample. You have 3 tasks: greetings, visual based description, opinion based exchange. Okay, so task 1, it'll be like this. Okay, just a simple greetings. Okay, talk about favorite activity during your free time. Dah ada dah pun. Kalau untuk task 2, for task 2, you will get a piece of picture, okay, where you will get visual based description. You have to describe the picture in detail, and this one you only have like 3 lines given, semi scripted, okay, for you just to start your discussion. And for the last one, opinion based exchange, is where you have to talk about your opinion. Okay, for example, the topic is about the advantages of taking part in recreational activities. So since you're doing in pair, we have 4 different points here. Each of you have to choose 2 and talk about your opinion regarding this. For example, if your opinion is about boost physical health, you have to talk about that. Okay, and elaborate. This one you have to talk for 4 minutes, this one for 3 minutes, this one for 2 minutes. Okay, so this is the rubrics. Don't worry, as we go throughout this semester, we will be covering those things as well. Okay, and then the last assessment 3, reading and writing assessment. So reading, in terms of reading wise, it is important as well for you to know the meaning of the words, what is the reference words, scanning, skimming, okay, how to identify the structure of a passage, locate the important things, making conclusion and inference, and also identify tone and purpose of a passage. For example, if the passage is telling you about the advantages of um, what the advantages of cycling. So the purpose of the passage is to inform, for example, so something like that. Okay. And then for writing, you have to write an expository essay where you have to write the introduction, two body paragraphs, and one conclusion. So four paragraph only, where you will elaborate in terms of what is the main idea of the paragraphs. Okay. And you will also include the transitional markers. For example, when you want to write your essay, takkanlah tak ada langsung discourse markers. First and foremost, finally, those are what we call transitional markers. Okay. And then in terms of grammar, parts of speech, we will learn something. Okay, we'll learn about some of the parts of speech, subject-verb agreement, and we will learn about continuous and perfect tense as well. So for nursing student, your third assessment will be on week 10, the last week of your semester. Okay, week 10. It will be in terms of reading comprehension, part B, interpreting visual. That's why we have to learn about the linear and non-linear text. Okay, interpreting. So you have to interpret graph. Okay, that is for reading. For writing, just write 150 to 200 word of expository essay. So the final test will be 2 hours and the weightage is 40%. So the passage will be like this. Okay, here you try to find the meaning of the word, true or false. Try to write whether the passage or whether the lines is true or false. Okay, interpret graph, something like this. And expository essay, just write 200 of words, each paragraph 50 words, very short. Okay, so that's it about intro to course. I hope that it is very clear. If you have any question, you can ask next week when we're in class. But for this week, don't worry much. Just I will upload the link of the slides later. So if you have any question, ask in the class next week. Okay, that's it. Thank you. We will cover the second and third part of the lecture in a bit.